afternoon,
Dr. Algernon.
I suggest we get through this meeting as quickly as possible. Dr. Mammon, I can see here that profits are up in cardiology. Good.
Well, thank you, Dr. Algernon. We worked very hard last quarter. Your recognition is deeply satisfying.
Good, Mammon, but not good enough. If running this hospital is going to be worth my while, you've got to make more money than this. I'm not in this for my health, you know.
Yes, sir, but with all due respect, I just can't see where we can generate more income. We're already overcharging the patients as much as we can get away with.
I don't know. Run them through more tests, prescribe more drugs, use more of those damn machines we've got down in the lab. That's what we went out and bought them for now, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, Dr. Greed, there seems to be something of a discrepancy in radiology's records.
A discrepancy? I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Admissions to your department were up 20% last quarter. Use of your facilities by other departments were up 25%, but profits were down 10%. Now, how do you explain that?
Well,
You're on a tight ship here at St. Lucifer's. A very tight ship. Do you understand, Greed?
Next quarter, you will see a dramatic change in radiology's balance sheet. I swear to you on my mother's grave.
Your mother's dead?
Well, I treated her myself.
Well, that's okay for next quarter, but what about now?
Might I make a generous contribution to your favorite charity?
Make it out to cash. And now on the sports scene. I'd like to report that Dr. Trench soundly trounced that bum Babcock over at SF General. Congratulations, Trench.
Yeah, thanks, Simon.
I think this is something we could all learn and benefit from. Athletic contests between St. Lucifer's and the other hospitals in the Bay Area have proven to be morale boosters. They're good for the staff's health, but most importantly, they provide an excellent source for a second income.
A second income?
Gambling, you fool! I did quite well by yesterday's match. I trust you did the same, Trench.
You made out like a bandit.
That's good to hear, because you're going to have to make that little windfall stretch a long, long distance.
Beg pardon?
Maybe your mind was too much on golf, or maybe it was on that underage candy striper you've been fooling around with. Whatever. It sure as hell wasn't on that operation.
Well, I can explain.
No need. It's obvious. You fucked up.
Well, that's not my fault.
We've got a patient that's turned into a monstrosity. It's killed 3 people. It's eating hospital property. Do you realize what that means, Trench? Do you?
Well, Simon,
The name's Algernon. Dr. Algernon. Now, see here, Trench. It costs a great deal of money to run a hospital. Millions! Our equipment is expensive. The staff is always whining for more money. Our insurance premiums are unbelievable. The only service we offer that makes a sizable profit is the lobotomy. And your incompetence threatens to completely destroy that operation here at St. Lucifer's.
Sire, Dr. Algernon, it was an accident.
An accident? Look, Trench, we're in deep shit here. We can't afford to take one step further without blaming someone. And you are made to order.
But my reputation, my family, my friends, my income.
Buck up, Trench. It's a noble thing you're doing. Don't think of it as the ruin of your career, but rather as a sacrifice for St. Lucifer's.
Here.
Hey, yeah.
You're a brave man, Trench. I don't think I could do what you're doing. Gentlemen, it was no exaggeration when I said this incident would bring the hospital to ruin. We must do something that will, in one stroke, reverse our fortunes and restore the faith and confidence of the public, the medical community, and the law in our ability to heal the body.
That's all good and well, but what do you have in mind?
It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a gentleman, a fellow doctor and a scientist. He's a graduate of Harvard and comes from a wealthy family in Chicago. He's been with St. Lucifer's for 7 years, the last 2 as head of research and development. And even though he's not Jewish, I have great faith and confidence in this young man. That's why I've placed the entire responsibility on his shoulders. So, without further ado, here is Dr. Lyle Sampson.
Dr. Sampson, you've heard the matter discussed. What are your conclusions?
How would I know? I only found out about this a couple of hours ago. I haven't even had a chance to look at the bugger.
Great.
Nonsense! We have not yet begun to operate. If we can restore the patient to his former, normal self, not only will everything be all right, we can deny that anything ever happened.
Dr. Sampson, it looks like this is going to be your baby. Do you think you can handle it?
Piece of cake.
Good. Now get on it immediately. This whole thing could blow up at any moment, and I wouldn't want it to mess up that handsome face of yours.